The Sentinel is known to be reliable, fearless, disciplined, consistent, courageous, motivated, and skillful.
So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances.
All these qualities start from the mind. Your mind can be your worst enemy or your most powerful weapon.
The world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
Is this the dagger?
Learn how to achieve greatness and tap into the Sentinel mindset.
Welcome everyone, we have the amazing Jacquie Davis here from the UK, visiting Las Vegas, Nevada for the Executive Protection Forum. Amazing presentation, presentation. I want to start off right now going right into one of the things that you highlighted and also even the presentation. In our company back in Canada, we have a lot of women. And I mean, women in the industry, it's a whole, it's a huge piece. A lot of them are aspiring to get into policing, to getting close protection, to get to higher levels of security.
Okay.
What would you say would be the best advice for a lot of females that are looking at jumping in? Because there's a lot of things that you got to fight against.
I've got to be honest, the older you are, the better it is.
Okay.
Because if you're going away on a detail, and it can be for weeks or months, can't it?
Yes.
You don't need to be having kids at home and families.
Yes.
So get that out the way. I always say to girls, come in when you're in your late 30s.
Yes.
Because you've had, you've done the family thing, and the children are a bit older, and you can do all that. Because once you're away on that detail, I've got to be honest, as a team leader, I don't want to hear about little Johnny's got measles and I've got to go.
Right.
Because that can sort of wreck the team. So the older you are, the better you are.
Okay.
Is my advice.
Okay, nice. Now, being from Canada, we share the same queen.
We do. We do.
And with that said, when you look at just basically the notion where in the US, it's heavy guns, right? We get requests all the time as well. Can your agents can they come armed and all that? We're like, no, we can't really do that. And you said something. You said your biggest asset is your brain and your communication, right?
Yep.
Can you elaborate more on that in the sense of like why that is so important to hone?
Okay, I'll tell you why it's really important. So in the police, when I was a police officer, we weren't allowed to be armed. The British police aren't armed apart from royalty protection and the SWAT team, what you'd call SWAT. So you're taught psychology and you're taught how to body language, understand people's body language so you know when they're going to do a move.
Yes.
But also the psychology of understanding them. That if they've got a problem, you need to be able to help them with that problem. And so it's being able to talk to people. And as I said before, it's like don't talk down to people.
Yes.
I don't care if it's the chambermaid or the general manager of the hotel. You talk to them in exactly the same way.
Okay.
Situational awareness makes you aware of what's around you.
Yes.
Okay. And so you can look at people's body language, the psychology of how they're acting, and so you don't need a gun to keep yourself out of those situations.
Right. No, that's great. I'm going to bring it now to the 3-letter curse word, which is also the ego. The ego of the industry. Now, we're in an industry that's very male-dominated with lots of ego. I find ego is also something that impacts people's growth. Okay. What would you say, in your opinion, are things that people can do to have more of an open mind, especially in an industry that is so demanding?
Yeah, I mean, it's learning things. I've been in this industry 40 years. So you can imagine when I started, there was no such thing as mobile phones or technology, nothing like that. I've had to learn that.
Yes.
And as much as, people go, oh, Jacquie, you've been doing it the longest, I have to ask other people, how do I download that app? Yeah. My ego's not that big, trust me.
Right.
And people go, well, you don't know how to do that. Well, if I knew how to do it, I wouldn't be asking.
Right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
Right.
So it's like, never think you're somebody special.
Yes.
You're not.
That's excellent.
At the end of the day, you're another EP operator helping another EP operator.
That's right.
And that's what it's about. Help each other, watch each other's back. In the police, we have the thin blue line and the police family.
Yes.
And so we should in EP.
Yes.
That's
right.
We should. Mostly we do.
Yes.
I've helped many a CP operator with stuff that is nothing whatsoever to do with CP.
Right.
But they've had a family problem or they've had a problem, they needed help.
Right.
We help each other.
That's
you
right.
know, because the only people who's going to watch our backs is each other, is
That's
us.
right.
We're the only people that care about each other. Nobody else cares about the CP teams out there. The client doesn't care, trust me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
it's
right.
like we have to look after each other.
That's amazing. And I love also what you said about how social media, a lot of times you see so many people just want to kind of validate themselves on social media. But I'm glad that you said that as an entity, when you look at that kind of stuff, that discredits you instantly.
Absolutely.
Because if you're staging
you broke your NDA.
That's
so
right.
a non-disclosure agreement. I mean, I've taken people to court for breaking their non-disclosure agreement. Most British companies take them really, really seriously.
Right.
So once you've signed that non-disclosure agreement, that's for life.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So you put in a picture of you and your client up,
Yes.
you've broken your NDA
That's right.
immediately.
That's right.
And as I said, we have a really big intelligence team that works with our close protection and surveillance teams. They'll tell me in a heartbeat where that photo was taken and what time.
Yeah, that's good.
So you've now put your client's life at risk, because if I can do it, so can the bad guys.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. Last question, because I know you got to run.
No, it's fine.
When you look at the industry, in Canada, our security industry as a whole, it's severely lacking, I guess, the level of professionalism that's needed to have truly qualified people. Now, you referenced that in the UK, 140 hours is what's needed before you even write your test. Okay? In Canada, it's 40 hours. And it's almost one of those things where people look at it as laughable. We're trying to challenge our Solicitor General and the Ministry to kind of elevate the standard. What would you say, in your opinion, for someone wanting to jump in, from a government's perspective?
Yeah.
How should they be looking at people wanting to come into the industry? Because at the end of the day, it's their governing that's creating this kind of thing.
Well, it's the same with us. Our SIA is a government department.
Right.
So they should be looking at it and saying, who do we want looking after our CEOs?
Yes.
Or our celebrities.
Right.
Because you know what? If somebody got killed in Canada
Yes.
because they'd got bad CP or EP, that reflects back on the government for not allowing people to do a proper course, not
Yes.
teaching them the right skills.
Right.
So every time somebody gets killed a visitor to the UK,
Yes.
we're all mortified. You
Right.
know, who was looking after you?
Yes.
You know,
That's right.
And I can guarantee you, we have Russians shot quite a bit in the UK,
Okay.
and they bring their own CP team with them, whose egos are out here,
Right.
whose skill set is down here.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
And so their principal gets shot and killed in London,
Yeah.
and we're all mortified. But it's the Russian government's fault because
That's right.
you haven't even got anything that says you can be CP.
That's right.
You just have these monsters that walk around.
Yeah.
So it's a reflection
Yes.
on the government.
Okay, good. 40-year career. Do you plan on retiring soon and just having that run away where you can watch some telly and have your mash and beans?
Do you know what? I flew into Tampa last Wednesday and
Yes.
I drove to Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
2,500 miles through all these different states. I've had a whale of a time because I've gone into little hick towns where they've never had a Brit arrive.
Right.
You know, I've had to talk a lot. But people have been lovely. Am I going to retire? No,
Okay.
probably not. But I'm the operations director for the Code for Optimal Risk.
Okay.
So I can choose if I want to go out on a job or I don't. I run
Yes,
it all now.
absolutely.
You know, I employ the people, I put the teams together,
Okay.
I do all the briefings, I liaise with the clients.
Right.
But you know, if I want to go out on a sneaky surveillance, I do.
There you
now
go.
and again,
There you
yeah.
go.
Will I
listen,
retire? Nah.
It's an absolute pleasure. Again, so happy to hear your presentation today.
Thank you.
And just to know again that there's a lot of like-minded elements between our countries.
Oh, absolutely. We're very alike.
There
We're
you
not
go.
like Americans. I can't be honest.
There you go. Jacquie, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
This podcast is brought to you by Executive Protection Lifestyle Canada. Make sure to drop by next week and don't forget to subscribe.